Hey guys, welcome back to Beehive Love Notes. Today we're talking about compassion, and I'd like to start today with a story. It's one of my favorite stories to share when I'm talking about compassion, and it's about the princess and the dragon. A long time ago, there was a princess, and she was known throughout the land for not only her beauty, but also her kindness, her generosity. And the kingdom was prosperous, and the people were happy and joyful. And one day that changed. Bad times fell on the kingdom, and there was a great despair throughout the land. And the king and the queen came to the princess one day, and they said, "Daughter, sweet daughter, we have a way to bring prosperity back into our kingdom. We need you to marry. We need you to marry this dragon from a neighboring kingdom." And the princess, thinking of others first, always agreed without hesitation. Of course I will marry the dragon. For the people, for you, I would do anything. And yet inside she was very scared and nervous, not knowing what her future would hold. And so she went to a village elder, the wisest woman in the village. And she said, "I'm scared. What should I do?" And they spent the afternoon together, the day before she was to be married. And so the next day, the princess married the dragon. And on the evening of their wedding night, it was time to consummate the marriage. And the princess, remembering the wise old woman's wisdom, had dressed in many, many layers. And when the dragon asked her to undress, she said, "Of course. But as I undress, as I take off each layer, I ask that you remove a layer of your scales." And so the princess removed her first layer. And the dragon removed a layer of his scales. And so it went on, layer by layer, clothing and scales on the floor mixing together. And Princess got to her last layer. She removed the last layer of clothing. And the dragon, thinking that he had no layers left of scales to remove, started to pull on scales that were so old. It felt like as he was removing them, he was removing a layer of his skin. And with great pain, he peeled off the last layer of scales, only to reveal a prince underneath the scales. And so this story is really a story about how we can close and layer scales and scales and scales upon our hearts. Right? Really layering on fear upon fear upon fear, closing ourselves off from the world, from other people, from the present moment. Or we can choose to let go of our fear and open our hearts to compassion instead. And it doesn't mean that we won't ever be fearful or that we'll only exist with compassion and love and kindness. But rather, we have the ability to recognize when we're closing ourselves off in fear and when we're opening ourselves up to compassion. Closing ourselves off from fear or opening ourselves up to compassion. So let's hear what the rest of the Beehive team has to say about compassion this week.
Hi, y'all. I'm Caroline. So excited to be part of this Beehive and all of the buzzings and things that are going on here. Anyway, we're talking about compassion today. And I'd just like to say compassion is just like a yoga practice, it is a practice. And so we need to be mindful if we want to stay in that space of being compassionate, first with ourselves and then with others as well. As we know, we all have ups and downs in life, and everyone is walking around with little spaces in their hearts of experiences that we just don't even know about, we can't imagine. And so to be compassionate, we have to take away the judgment. And a good way of taking away the judgment is by cleaning our lenses from time to time. Just cleaning those lenses a little bit of how we see the world and trying to see it from a more neutral space. Allows us to be able to be open and be with another person, even if we don't agree or don't understand really what they're going through. And in order to be compassionate, we're ready to help someone who's going through a difficult time. And that could be in so many different ways. Could be just by giving them a smile or a listening ear, or I don't know. I could list so many different ways, so I won't go there, but it's a practice. So stay mindful, stay open, and first be kind to yourself. What is your inner voice saying to you about yourself? Check in there, be the witness, and then look around and see how we can make the world a better place. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
It's like a pump, an energy pump. Compassion really is a seed energy that's inside every being, and that seed energy that expresses itself by actual practicing compassion, focusing intentional compassion every day. That expression is like a muscle. It becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and it helps you become stronger and more connected with the people around you and with the world and with everything and with yourself. I mean, that's the big key. Have compassion for yourself, be connected with yourself as well as the world. Go slow. Take this time that we have a great opportunity to go slow and look at things and feel things and understand things internally and really search inside your heart to see how you feel and what you feel about things. Compassion. Open your heart, let it come in. Have a great day.
Thank you all for joining us. We hope that as you listened to today's message, you felt your heart opening up just a little bit more to compassion, to loving kindness. And remembering that you have a choice to close your heart off in fear or to continue to open it up to the love of the present moment. Thank you. Namaste.